So these are not the monocrystalline panels of old. They are cranking out power. This video is a little bit out of order, but I'm excited to tell you about what I'm doing and about possibly the last new product I will ever install on Brick House. BougeRV has sent me 2 completely new technology solar panels along with a very simple and cheap MPPT controller. The exciting part though is the solar panels themselves and what I'm going to be doing with them. Bouge, the Bouge in BougeRV, well, that means mobile. That's the whole thrust of BougeRV, and I'm about to give that a whole new meaning. They make anything from solar panels, refrigerators, portable power stations, and all the accessories to go with them. These solar panels are dedicated to more mobility, and that's exactly what it's going to make me, more mobile. I'll let you in on the secret in just a few minutes. I've received 2 of their flexible Yuma panels made with a new technology called CIGS, C-I-G-S. These are called Yuma 200 CIG, C-I-G panels. CIG stands for copper, iridium, gallium selenide. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right or not, but there's no glass in them, which makes them way more flexible and way more durable than other panels, whether it be solid, rigid panels or thin filmed panels or other flexible panels. These thin filmed CIG SIG panels, the Yuma 2000 by BougeRV, is what we're talking about here. And they don't even need airspace under them like the solar panels of old do. The diodes help avoid the hot spots created by shade or damage. They aren't glass, so they don't melt the sheets under the panels. The solar panels do not degrade and there's no risk of fire. Good thing since I have them on top of my dinghy. So these are 200 watts, plus or minus 5% each, and I have 2 of them, and they're 25 volts at their max. They crank out 8.02 amps maximum. That's on a really, really sunny day, tilted just perfectly and all that kind of stuff. The solar panel that we put on 2 years ago to our hard Dodger in South Africa, it just lies flat, no tilt, which is always better, but we didn't do that. It's 365 watts. I have 400 watts combined on these 2. We have them wired in serial. BougeRV, these Yuma 200, Y-U-M-A 200 solar panels are really doing an unbelievable job. I've got 2 of them, and they are just cranking out the power. I'm seeing 17, 18, 19, 20 come out when my old solar panels, which are only 25, 35 watts less than these 2, I see half in my old solar panels as I do to these new ones. Maybe it's just because they're more efficient because they're newer, or maybe the MPPT controller technology is newer than the ones that I have on my other ones, although I hooked up the MPPT controller, the new MPPT controller, to the old panels and it wasn't giving any more or less. So I think it's truly the new technology solar panels, and these in particular. The reason why I haven't done a permanent installation of them is kind of twofold. One, I don't want to really be walking on them at sea. Yeah, you can walk on them. They're tough. They're really tough. You know, you can look on their YouTube site and see them like really beating on these things, but I don't see walking on them as being safe. I mean, they're really slippery, and I'm sure they're even worse when they're wet. So I didn't want to mount them permanently, and almost every place on my little boat I step on a regular basis when I'm underway. So what I'm doing is I'm installing them temporarily. You'll see how I do the rest of it, but yeah, I can take these down in about 5 minutes, roll them up, put them in the bow, and not have them for passage. I don't really need solar power during a passage so much as I do when I'm at anchor and doing lots of things that take lots of power. I've always wondered about flexible solar panels. I've never put them on the boat because I always talk to other people, and you know they would crack and they couldn't take them off the boat. If they took them off the boat and stored them someplace, they would get broken. But these are really different from what they tell me. They don't have any glass in them, unlike all other solar panels. They have not even a bit of glass in them, so there's nothing to break, and they're extremely flexible. You can walk on them, you can throw them around, you can do whatever you need to do. I've gotten these sort of as a addition to the one solar panel that I have on. That runs my refrigerator and everything else on my boat with no problem whatsoever. I never have to use the little Honda generator. I never have to use I really don't even have to run the engine or anything. But when I have my freezer on and my refrigerator on, then that's when I wish I had another solar panel. Or when Michael comes to visit and he runs his computer day and night. So those two things, the running of the laptop or laptops and the freezer, kind of push it over the edge, and I find that I have to either run the engine or run the generator every 3 or 4 days. So I'm hoping that this solar panel, or the 2 solar panels, can add enough so that I don't have to ever run anything again, just the solar. And of course my crew broke my wind generator, which used to take up the slack, but it's broken now. I don't think I want to fix it, so I think I'm just going to put these 2 solar panels on in sort of a temporary installation, not a permanent installation, so I can just roll them up, put them back in the box, store them in the cockpit when I'm on a passage, and I don't have to worry about it. And then when I get someplace wherever the sun is facing, whether it's from the south or the east, well, it's always the west or the east, right? But wherever I am in relation to it, I can sort of hang the panels where I need to hang them and get the best angle for the sun. So that's the plan. Okay, now it's time for me to be honest with you. The other reason why I didn't permanently mount them is because if I sell Brick House, and I don't know if I'm going to or not, but if I sell Brick House, I can take this whole setup with me to a camper van or an RV of sorts. I can bring the solar panels with me. I can bring the MPPT controller and circuit breakers and the wiring. I can bring it all with me. I haven't made any holes in the boat, haven't made any permanent installation of it, and I can just bring it with me and put it on the van. Just put some sticky on the back of it and glue it down to the van and have really good solar for that too. So this gives me 2 options: keep it on the boat and use it when I'm at anchor, or bring it with me to an RV someday. I want to take a second just to emphasize just how important the durability and toughness of these solar panels really are to me personally. If one knows what's good for their boat or any other surface that you put these on, you know that putting hot things on the surfaces of your boat decks is not a good thing to do. But because these solar panels aren't made of glass, they don't get hot like other solar panels do. And they certainly don't get hot underneath like other solar panels may. So that's a big plus for a sailboat, big plus for the deck of a sailboat, and very unlike other flexible panels that have a glass component to them. These have no glass in them. And also because they have no glass in them, they're so much more durable. You know, if a winch handle gets thrown on top of them, or a part of the rigging, God forbid, falls down, or the mainsail falls down and the headboard falls on the solar panel, or flailing lines are snapping at the solar panels, it's going to be okay. They can take it. They're really strong. Watch some of the other videos on these panels where people ride their trucks on them with dirt and rocks in their tire treads, and they throw them off buildings. And yeah, I got these because they were strong and they wouldn't melt my decks or my Hypalon rubber dinghy. On top of that, if I do put them onto an RV in the future, is hail. Hail, hail, hail. Hail is always slamming into the top of their RVs and onto their windshields and cracking windshields. They aren't glass. They're not going to crack them. Also, you know, these rigs are pretty tall, and if you drive around trees at all, there's hopefully not going to be any branches hitting the top of your RV, but there's certainly going to be leaves and twigs and things like that hanging down. Imagine going down a road and you got one low-hanging branch with just some twigs coming off of it. Can you imagine the sound as you go driving underneath that? You know, these rigs are 11 and 12 feet high, and it's not always easy to judge how low the tree branches are hanging. So I'm going to show you now exactly what I did to make this MPPT controller only a temporary installation, but fully functional. So this way I'll be able to use it on the boat, or if I get an RV, I'll be able to use it there too. That right there is about how I'm going to mount them. So yes, I'm going to mount them on a breadboard, a cutting board, and that cutting board can be put away when not in use or left on the shelf but disconnected from any wires. It'll give me a lot more flexibility. So that's going, that'll be going in from the outside, and this one will be going into the MPP, and then this one will be coming from the MPPT, and then this will be like that. And then that one will be going out. So that's how I'll mount them, just like that. That's how my board will look. Actually, I'm going to switch this around because they're both 40 amp. But this one is 40 amp, and I don't know if it says it on the back or not. It doesn't say it on the back, but it's 72. It's rated up to 72 volts. And the two solar panels coming in could be as much as 50 or possibly even a little bit more. So I rather have that 40 or 50 volts coming in on a 72 volt one than on a 48 volt one. This one's rated for 48 volt. So there definitely won't be that coming out, but there could be that coming into the MPPT. So I'm putting this one on that side. And that'll be in from the solar panel. Putting that one on the outside, that'll be going out from the MPPT controller to the batteries. Every boat should have a good wood screw collection, and Brick House indeed has that. The first screwing begins. There's one screw in. I'm putting in the other screw now. So yeah, I know how you guys are going to say, oh, why doesn't you have the power tools out? Well, why get the power tools out for such a girly, simple job? See, I'm almost done. Last screw. And this part will be done. No power tools needed. Now all I need to do is put back that. I don't need to go through recharging the drill and putting the drill back and crawling through the front of the boat. So, beautiful. Now I just have to hook up the wires. Yep, Michael is here visiting and helping me with this little project. Always a pleasure when he visits. I miss him every day when he's not here. Feel the power. Thank you, Michael. What you doing? Flames and wires, I don't know. Never seems like a good idea to me, but heat shrink seems like a good idea. So we'll do heat shrink. South African men like to play with fire, so this is a good project for Michael.
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't have the fire extinguishers out.
I do. What are you doing, Michael?
The same as before. Heat shrink.
Heat shrink. With fire, because South African men like fire, especially this South African man. This right here is how we do it. Thanks for helping, Michael. Nice to have you visiting here.
There you go.
Do that one more time. Yes, I know it's confusing. This is Brunswick Landing Marina. I'll have a follow-up video to this one to let you know how it got. If you still enjoy seeing these technical videos, please let me know. Or if you'd rather I'd not, let me know that too. So I'm pretty excited. One flexible solar panel in this box, and I have another box identical to it, so two 200-watt solar panels that I'm going to install onto Brick House so that I never have to plug into shore power, run my engine, or run my generator ever again. BougeRV, which is a company that makes solar panels for RVs, but now for boats too, has sent me this setup to see how it will work on a boat. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'm hoping that I don't have to fix the wind generator, because every time I have to fix the wind generator, it's like that video that you saw Michael and I fixing it. I'll put it right here, up here, so that you can see that video if you like to see what's involved in fixing a wind generator. But solar panels are just so much less upkeep, so I'm kind of converting to more solar panel and less wind generator. One solar panel in one box, although a lot of people have said on other videos that you should keep the one box because you can put both solar panels into it, 2 solar panels in one box. But anyway, we're going to take it out and see what we got. I can't get it out. All right, let's try this. Come on, box. There. Don't let the box go. There's a positive and negative MC4 connector, male and female. And it looks like this is the back of the solar panel. Now, some of the solar panels come with adhesive on the back. So I chose to get the solar panel without adhesive on the back because I didn't want to put it in one spot. I wanted to be able to tie it up in different spots and be able to have it be portable. So they come with, it looks like about maybe 3 feet long, 1 meter long cables from the solar panel with MC4 connectors on them. So that is why I got extension cables, because this is never going to reach my battery from wherever I put this solar panel. No way, no how. Just gonna tie a simple bowl in. I could tie a lot, but why not just tie a knot? Don't need to make any specific length, just whatever fits where you want to put it that particular day. These might change. I want to have them long enough so that I might be able to use them twice if I put them someplace else, like over the boom or in the front of the boat or on the bimini, wherever I decide to put them next time. But this time I'm putting them over the dinghy, which might not always be on the deck. So made them a little longer so that maybe they'll fit for something else next time. And then I'm just gonna tie a simple knot, just like I'm hanging a fender over the side. So I'm gonna unveil the solar panel, see what it looks like. Ooh, very pretty. I haven't tied down this side yet. The wind's coming from over there, so I just felt the need to tie down that side so I don't lose it for today. I wish the grommets were a little bigger. I think I used the smallest string, and even that, trying to get it through the hole, is a little difficult. Not impossible. Another bowline on this side. I don't know, I use bowline for everything. I learned a whole bunch of knots to come up here. You can see that in some of my previous videos, my knot practicing. But I still resort to the bowline for almost everything. Okay, where are the scissors? Here, make it a bit longer so I can put it to other things. We'll cut it right here. We'll burn that in a bit. What's that, a clove hitch or something? I don't know what it is, but anyways. I'm just gonna tie one on the front just because probably the wind is gonna come from the front of the boat in this case. So. And then we'll put that one on that eyelet right there. So I'm just gonna try to make this semi-snug. It doesn't have to be real tight, but it's always hard tying something and keeping it tight. So I'm just gonna twist it around a couple times like that. And then I'm just gonna, one more time, and then I'm just gonna tie it like that and like that again. Don't know if there's any name for that knot, or if it's even good, or if you guys are gonna leave lots of bad comments for me about what a terrible knot that was, but that's what I'm doing, like it or not. Got the extension cables. And with just the one solar panel, of course there's gonna be two in the final setup, I think. But we're gonna just see how one does for now. So we're gonna hook, this one is labeled positive. Unwrap it. So that's labeled positive. It's a male. We're gonna put it in the female. Go like that. Nope, maybe we'll try it the other side. That comes out way too easy. Oh, it says, it has little guides on here. This way, that way. Does it have guides on there? Yes, like that. And we heard the little click when they clipped into each other. And then we have a negative one. We'll unwrap. Oh, cut! Wrong! Do you see what I did? Black and red. How stupid can she be? So let's disconnect it. And let's connect the black to the black. That's strange. It was right. It's plus, but it's black, as all good solar panels are. They're always black cables that come out. So I was right the first time, but that's okay. So this is the positive, so this will go to the red. Click. We'll unwrap this black one. We'll put the writing that way, writing that way. Click. And we're ready to lead these back to the cockpit however we want to lead them back. I think I'm going to
Doesn't much matter, just lead them back in a way that you're not going to trip
maybe
on them
I
if
won't.
there's a
I'll just
fire
leave them.
drill with the anchor,
like that.
or if you have to do something.
way they don't
So,
sit in the rain
but
and
it's,
sit
you
in the
know,
sun.
I'll get used to it, where the easiest way to run it back as I take it apart and put it back together at different times. Probably leaving it out of the sun as much as possible, and out of the wetness as much as possible is helpful, but not necessary. These are pretty weatherproof.
I'm going to run it right down. I'm just going to pull these through. Can't really see out front to see how much more I have left. I don't want to pull them too taut, but I think that's as tight as the black, and then I'm going to pull in the red. See if these can go all the way down to the MPPT controller downstairs. So let's go plug them in and see what they do. At least the one. I can't wait to see what two does. So now is the moment of truth. I'm gonna hook these up, and you have to always remember that you need to apply power to the MPPT controller before you put solar into it. So this is the old MPPT hooked to the old solar panel, the rigid solar panel on top of my hard Dodger that Michael made for me. So this has had no changes. This is going to run the same as it ever was. And down here we have a Rouge. Let me take this out. Well, I can't take it too far out, but this is our
BougeRV
MPPT solar charge controller. It's an MPPT. It's 40 amps, so it's a little bit bigger than this one. Also has a display out to give me all the information, and I also can connect to it by Bluetooth and get the information in detail. And then, so that came in the box. I supplied the two breakers. This is from the solar panels. This is to the batteries. I have one on both sides so that I can shut off and isolate either side for maintenance or whatever else needs to happen. I have them both off right now. This is a 72 volt circuit breaker. This is a 48 volt because coming in is going to be much more voltage than coming out from the MPPT controller, because the MPPT controller is going to make it so that it's the correct voltage for my batteries. It's user configurable. It has like 6 different battery profiles. I put it on lithium, but I've changed a bunch of the parameters on the lithium battery profile. It's all completely changeable. to match my lithium batteries, not everybody else's lithium batteries. We're ready to just turn it on now. So we've made it completely portable. I haven't mounted the MPPT on a wall, and I haven't put the circuit breakers on a wall. I've put them on a breadboard that I bought specific size to fit my closet. So, you know, I can slide it in and out. I can put it up and down, whatever I need to do. I can put this someplace else and run the whole thing in a different way. I can bring it to my RV if I ever get an RV, and bring it to my RV and run it from there. So it's a completely portable system, which I really like the idea of, because I really don't have any more real estate in any closets to hang it comfortably and not take up a whole bunch of space. So this is nice. Also, what I've done is, so when I disconnect this, if I want to just put it away and not use it at all, you know, maybe for an ocean crossing or something, I just undo the black and the red from here, and I unclip the extension cords coming from my solar panel. So these are coming from my solar panel, just in a very temporary kind of way, especially right now. I might run them a little neater when I'm at anchor, but right now they're just coming right down the companionway, and they're ready to hook into my whole portable MPPT circuit breaker system. So now is the moment of truth. We're going to plug them in, red to red and black to black, now that we're down here, and see if it all works. Wish me luck. So I'm just gonna push this back in the closet so it's where it's supposed to be. It even has little rubber things on the bottom so that it won't wiggle back and forth in a shaky anchorage. So there's that. And now I'm ready to just plug in the red and the black to the red and black extension cords coming down the companionway. Check out these numbers on the app that is Bluetooth to the MPPT controller. It's pretty great. And that's with the refrigerator running. So all the solar panels on a very cloudy day, putting in about 12 or 13 amps. Plus 5 to 7 for the fridge. This is a sponsored video by BougeRV, but remember, I would never ever recommend a product if I didn't want it in the first place and if I didn't love it once I've gotten it. And so far so good, really love it, putting out lots of power. Make sure to use the affiliate link down below. Use BrickHouse28 for 28% off the panels till July 10th. Use BrickHouse16 for 16% off everything valid till September 1st. Please be sure to use the affiliate link in the description down below to earn me a few nickels in the meantime. Most of all, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't already, please leave a comment down below and give me a thumbs up. That all helps a lot too. See you next time.